welcome back to my channel. Today we have Mint Chocolate Volume 1. So this is the cover. Obviously this is what really got me the manga. I was like, you know what, I need a new manga to read, and this came up. I looked at it and I went, okay, this is kind of giving me Marmalade Boy a little bit. So the parents get married. They're now basically siblings, but then they now... Hang on. So it was kind of giving me that vibe. So obviously I've got the first four volumes on here, so hopefully... Oh my goodness, hang on. Sorry about that, my cats were going... attacking my boxes. Right, anyway, this is volume 1. So here we go. So when Naomi finally gets a chance to meet her mum's new husband and his son, the last person she expects to see is one of her classmates, Kohi Suzumuru. Not only is he the new stepbrother, cool and completed, unapproachable, not even worse, he's the crazy hot guy Naomi's been crushing on for months. The only time will tell how Naomi suspected familiar romance will play out. So these two are like stepbrothers and stepsisters, you know, and then this romance between these two starts to happen. That's pretty much it. So this was, at first I was like, oh, this is actually quite an interesting first volume. It felt like a little uncertainty about the whole thing, the sibling thing, but I thought it was well done. This was a clear line between the two leads in their name. They didn't really view each other as the siblings, since Naomi had a crush on Kohi for many months before their parents married. So Naomi is really like a funny heroine. She is quick to come up with crazy ideas, such as thinking about what a future love rival could act or looked like, or who Mitsuko could be. But I think it's part of her charm. She also has really expressions that made me laugh more than once. I also liked Kohi despite the times that he seemed to be a jerk. He has this kind of tsundere vibes. Not so much that where he's extremely mean, just to be mean and hurtful. But I don't think he just does it on purpose because it winds her up. And he thinks that's the best. So... probably one of my favourite parts is the art, though. I especially like the eyes because they're sharp and I think it's cool looking. I thought this isn't a new favourite, and I had a tad bit too much sexual tension, but I prefer. But I enjoyed reading the first volume. I'm going to show you the volume 2 next. So won't be a second. Right, so here's volume 2. This is what the cover looks like. And then we have the back. Despite the almost kiss incident, the sleeping on enemy art lunge incident, and the waking up in the same bed incident, Nanami still has no idea if Kohi has a thing for her or not, and it's driving Nanami crazy. But since they're alone together for the weekend, this may be the perfect chance for Nanami to find out how Kohi really feels for her. So these two, their parents are away for the weekend, right? So which means these two are alone in the apartment for the first time since they became siblings. But Nanami's finding it quite increasingly difficult to hide a feeling towards Kohi. Like, first he's sweet to her because he buys her for her favourite ice cream. The next, he's like a jerk that argues when Natsume tries to hide from him from her school friends. But what will their mutual attraction come to head with, or will Nanami find a way to let go of her crush? The 7 nights where the parents are away, in the perfect time for the leads to take their relationship to the next level, or at least charge up the romantic tension interaction meaning. The story seems to suggest that what's going on here, however, the few nights they're alone are mostly used for comedy. This isn't a bad thing as played against audience expected kind of workflow, but the amount of it makes for the first third of this volume really tedious. The series is like a really rom-com, and it's kind of balanced between the romantic tension and the random comic kind of spat between the two. However, it's not too bad, but we do not know how each other particularly well at this point of the story. So yell and argue they do is writing is very similar way to for the pair, and it does not help matters at one point. I couldn't help but think we replace these leads with other rom-com leads, saying couples like in Love Hina, you would barely have to change dialogue. So willing enough to win, the parents do come back, the story starts to pick up again, and a rhythmic crawl they won't do the dance they'll easily read and follow from the first book returns. So Lee's becomes with a couple we want to root for once more. And then at this final volume we leave with a massive cliffhanger because we're like, really? So I do have the next book, obviously. I've read it and I was like, really? So volume 3 is up next. So here's volume 3. We have Nanami. This is the cover. And then we have the back. A Christmas confession leaves Nanami and Kohi at well. Nanami's not quite sure. After all, Kohi just kind of admitted that he liked her and maybe even kissed her. But then he acts like his usual self the next day. On top of that, someone starts spreading rumours about their relationship as siblings, which means even if they're actually dating, they can't tell anyone about it. So, this is so Nanami returns to his feelings and the two of them start dating. However, things are not black and white as they seem, because someone in the school has decided to start a rumour about these two are siblings, and obviously they're not dating. But it's actually one of their her friends, I think, because she got jealous because she's always with him, kind of thing. So Kohi couldn't hold back and ends up kissing Nanami on their front porch. But Ito ends up taking a picture of them and begins to spread the word around the school that two of them are siblings. However, she doesn't tell them about the two of them dating. Yet she wants something in return. However, this isn't your typical black operation. What does she want? It's a bit of a head scratcher and makes you wonder if she felt need to go to the black route to get what she wanted. So all the while, Kohi decides to get himself a part-time job of the new year, and the volume tries to make it mysterious, but if you pay attention to the very beginning of the volume, it's super obvious why he picked the job. So the manga ends with the fruit of his labour, which was so foreshadowed through the volumes. The characters with these two confessing is kind of too quick. I thought the manga would kind of, die out a bit, but you got the first volume, she finds out that they're moving together. Second volume, they're telling each other they like each other. Third volume, they're dating. It's like, couldn't these volumes be a little bit more spread out a bit? Because it seems to be quite boring. And then it was a little interesting to see that the two of these knew each other before the remarriage. Then again, in the kind of story that used the typical setup. This just just giving me really, really Marmalade Boy vibes. I am going to do volume 4 and then we'll see there. Okay, so here's volume 4. So again, we'll see how this goes. And it's kind of, I think it's working too fast. That which, after Nanami worked so hard to keep her relationship with Kohi down the low, she even agreed to Mana's ridiculous demands for crying out loud. Then Mana just sent that picture to everyone anyway. Nanami is doomed to a life of solitude for the rest of her high school. That is, if the hero of the story doesn't show up to sweep her off her feet, can Kohi become her knight in shining armour? So, volume 4. So this is all stems between Ito passes around a fight with them kissing, and Nanami ends up getting confronted about it. So she comes up with exclusions that you can't truly tell if Kohi is kissing her or not. However, none of them that matters. Endo ends up telling Kohi what's going on, and he bolted to the roof and planted a kiss right on Nanami's lift in front of everyone. Then he announced that they were indeed dating, thus crushing and dispelling all rumours ending the blackmail attempt. However, we were taken back to Ito's past, where it explains why she did what she did. Even though Nanami doesn't really agree with what she did, she gained an understanding where she was coming from, the fact that she wanted a copper card, a little piece of Kohi from his mind, where she knew that it was near possible to keep him weeks of loneliness and despair, if you ask me. And in spite of getting out to everyone in secret in the school, that between these two are dating, Kohi's locket is stuffed with Valentine's chocolate, which is Nanami says looked as if it cost over 5,000 yen. First off, who the heck pays $45 or yen for a freaking chocolate for a high school crush, even though that 100% guaranteed not bear any fruit? And second, I want to know what the hell $45 chocolate tastes like. If it was like a mixture of the $5 shade dollar from Pop. Like, I know there's some expensive chocolate out there, but to spend that much on chocolate just for a crush? Hell no. If I have a crush on someone, I'm not going to spend that much on chocolate on them. Fuck that. The volume wrapped up with Nanami finding a cat. She wants to keep it, but Kohi says his father doesn't like cats. She tries to pawn it off on Ando, but however she brings it back and discovers that Kohi's father actually likes cats. I smell something from a backstory that given here at last. So lastly, Nanami has finally come into a video. Knowing this isn't much of a cliffhanger, but can they get out of it? Can they keep their relationship a secret? Find out on the next volume whether this cousin finds out whether they're dating or not. Which I feel like he will, because it's going to be that quick. They find out they're dating, and then he tries to admit to her that he loves her. He doesn't want him to be with her. It's going to be like that situation. No, thank you. I don't think I'm going to keep this volume. I hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace, bye.